Reviewer of many reputed journals has delivered budget of the number of national as well as international level conferences that have published a number of papers, reputed journals, as well as number of national and international conferences. Five research scholars have often been emphasized, and eight more research scholars are being guided by the the students will ask Professor Hazarika sir after chairing the fourth technical session of NECONRE-2017, also looking forward for his invited talk. I now like to welcome sir on the hand over this to the proceeding of the session and invite him to share his thoughts with his invited talk. So please.
Started at first it was DC, and there was a lot of fight, AC and DC, which is better. Tesla was in favor of AC, Edison was in favor of DC, so many things, and finally we are having a AC system. Now this industrialization and that generation of electricity creates a sort of havoc for the nature. Nature was destructive, it was destroyed like anything. Ecological balance was affected tremendously. But people started realizing that electricity is the best form of energy. You can take it anywhere, very simple to handle. Therefore, the electrical system grows like anything. Power demand expanded. Big thermal stations, super thermal stations, hydro stations, they were constructed so that power demand can be met by the generation. Transmission system also gone through a lot of reformation. There are new concepts of transmission introduced in the electrical energy system. The fossil fuel is used mostly by the farmers. Therefore, later on in early 80s or somewhere there, the cost of emission has been introduced in America. That is a penalty. The moment you burn fossil fuel, you actually generate harmful gas. Therefore, the thermal power station, they have to compensate. Therefore, that concept has been used. But still that harmful gases, they are created and power transfer is from a remote area to a load center. That is during 80s. Now it has created a lot of problems to the nature. There is a significant change in biosphere. Number one, ozone layer is depleted. That is one of the claim, but there is a lot of debate on that. Some of the scientists, they say, no, this is a natural phenomenon. Time to time, it is a dynamic. It changes automatically and get revived automatically. Then greenhouse effect is another. Because we have to worry about greenhouse. Much extinction was greenhouse. Therefore, people started thinking in terms of how to manage it. There are summits. There were summits which were organized, but there is conflict among the countries. Nobody wants to agree that to have a sort of effective measure to manage this problem. And there is a perception grown among the people involved in the summit, or somehow it is somehow it has influenced the general people that due to the destruction of the nature, basically the nature is pain. Nature is really under pain. It is not true. Nature has its own mechanism and ability to destroy and recreate everything. Therefore, finally or ultimately, nature will manage everything, and in this process, the possibility of human civilization disappearing from this earth is there. Therefore, one needs to be careful while addressing this issue. Now, therefore, people started talking about renewable energy. Renewable comes out from whether it is solar, whether it is wind, whether it is geothermal, whether it is hydro is also called renewable, but hydro, large-scale hydropower station is not advisable because of there are a lot many environmental effects when you try to extract power from large-scale hydropower station. There are a lot many debates. Therefore, people started giving emphasis on harnessing power from green energy resources. All are these green energy resources. Now, number one, they are bio-friendly. And all of them are, whether it's PV, whether it's wind, whether it is biomass, geothermal. And of late, the government management is also into the power generation sector. The garbage management is an issue where one has to use garbage for generation of power. To address that issue also, it's a huge problem for our environment. Garbage is creating a lot of problems. Now, we need to understand where we stand and where we were maybe. I remember I attended one conference, national power system conference. One of the person, speaker, he was narrating a story of that elephant and a mouse. Actually, that I have got a picture. That elephant was about to cross a bridge. Then he heard a sound from the top. Could I get down? That is a mouse. If he gets down, then weight will be less. Therefore, that elephant can easily pass through the bridge. Then he actually compared that elephant as a power system which is supported by the production of power from thermal station, because it is a megawatt, huge megawatt, and that mouse was solar. But at that time, solar was not popular, and people had a lot of doubt that whether this technology will be mature enough in our lifetime so that it can be used for the generation purpose. But today we stand here, that mouse is now holding the elephant. The reverse situation. We have the technology to or harvesting energy from bio-friendly renewable sources. We have a e-vehicle. We have the technology to manage e-vehicle within defined parameters. Within these years, there is a significant advance in power electronics. Everything is possible because of power electronics and embedded systems. Embedded and power electronics combined together can create anything and everything in the field of power generation, power management, because we are having we are having PDC, all our power electronics management system. But one thing we need to understand, e-vehicle, use of e-vehicle will be useful and meaningful if we have minimum of 40% mixed generation in our generating system, if all are generated through thermal power station and you are transmitting, as a result it will not be effective. Emission will be somewhere there, but you are using energy somewhere else. But that effect in the environment will not be reduced until and unless we have minimum of 40% of mixed generation. Therefore, probably there is a regulation that has been pushed probably. The distribution system, our distribution company has to have 40% of renewable energy pumped into the grid system. That's why our APDCL, they are also planning for that. They are going to have few solar. Wind is not very advisable here in our north, particularly in Assam. Therefore, one main focus is on solar. Main focus is on solar. Now, moment that solar is prominent, solar becoming prominent, is visible everywhere. Even now, probably in Haryana, during daytime, some of the thermal stations, they are operated at 40% of its capacity. At 1500, less than its power capacity, 1500 megawatts, less than its capacity. Therefore, this is the scenario we are having at present. And moment it has come, the battle between AC and DC started. Because the DC has a disadvantage of managing voltage in between the load point. Because AC has the advantage, you can have transformer, manage the voltage, you can have capacitor so that you can manage the voltage. But DC, you need to have a distributed generation within the distribution grid. Now we are going to have solar everywhere. They will be working at the lower level of voltage profile. Therefore, they will act as a distribution generation in a grid system, but it is in the daytime, not as a night time. Therefore, some of the countries already they are preparing to fall back to the AC distribution system. And the advanced countries like Japan and others, they are planning to have it at 120. It is a safe one. You can touch it, no problem. There will be no problem with electrification and all that. Therefore, this is going to come. It is not really some sort of hypothetical. It is going to come. It will be coming very rapidly, maybe within 2-3 years. What I have learned that Government of India is keen to buy near about 10,000 e-vehicles. That is the planning they are having. Therefore, e-vehicles are coming. But there is another thing coming, hydrogen car. Therefore, now the mixture is the hydrogen and solar. If you have the solar power, forget about the regulation control of power and everything. Whatever the solar power you are getting, use it and do electrolysis and have hydrogen created and pour somewhere. Now, this is the car. Already in the market, price is only 30 lakhs. They are ready to rent you at 22,000 per month. They have actually it is in operation. Yes, they have bought lot many, and for 3 years it will be provided to you on rental basis, 22,000 per month, and they are going to install their actually that gas filling stations are shown behind. The filling needs only 3 minutes, and it runs for near about 500 miles. One filling, 3 minutes, one filling. It's a big one. Very good. And it is a hybrid car, mixer of everything. It's having all the arrangement, hydrogen and free charging and many more features. It's already popular. Therefore, it is going to come. Now, the hydrogen to have managed the power required at the night time at a distribution level. Whatever the excess power through solar we are getting, one can use it to generate hydrogen. Any hydrogen based generator generating unit to generate power at the distribution level at night hour. Therefore, I think distribution will be going DC maybe in the next couple of years, because now we are having ring system also. Distribution not necessarily to be a radial one, it can be a ring one. Therefore, regulation will be very, very good and management will be very, very good. Number one, the or less will be less, it will come down to 8%. And if you look to do it at 120, it will be safe. Yes, conductor size will be 4 size. Who cares conductor size? We are a developed country. Our actually thought procession has to be like that. We are a developed country. Because we are planning for 5G now. Ahead of others. Ahead of others. One of the boy, he has set up a company. You can see in the network. He has created a website. His company is Assam Generation and Distribution Company. He has applied for DC distribution in Assam for trading purpose. Probably he will be getting it. And the major advantage is the monitoring is very simple. DC, voltage and current, AC, that phasor is there. When there is a phasor, the problem is that PMU is needed for a wider network. And when there is an AC, three phase is not balanced. That is going to happen everywhere. Therefore, you have a neutral voltage. Now, in long run, it will be coming straight away with DC. All are DC in fact. AC motor control is DC. DFD is DC actually. It is converted to DC. Then again, it is to AC. Therefore, all speed controls are either PWM or some other like new concept that is being used, where it is from DC to other form of power transfer. Therefore, all are DC, except the fan we are having. We have brushless DC machine that we can use. They are very powerful and efficient. Therefore, I think that this is going to come. That is a new generation power system, and the regulation will be here. Regulation will be. Therefore, this is the conclusion. We need to go for a green energy. That is bound to come. It is bound to come. I think Narendra Modi is offering to have sort of 1 kilowatt peak system, the subsidized rate of 30% or something like that. Means it is costing about 2 lakh something. If you want to buy and install it at your house, I think it will be costing around 17 to 18,000 only. Provided that your load must be more than 1 kilowatt. 1 or 3 kilowatt, I do not remember, probably 2 or 3 kilowatt. There is a restriction given. Therefore, there will be a distribution generator everywhere, each and every household. Now, problem is that there will be excess electrical power. Now, that problem is creating some sort of problem in Germany. Now, most of the thermal stations, they have to shut down. There is an unemployment problem in the Germany. They are actually I think solar and renewable has managed near about 70%. Now I think it is 80% of the power they need is managed by the conventional. And India is going in towards that. If Narendra Modi is there, it will go, because he is more intelligent than everybody. He can talk better than anybody related to this this management of non-conventional power or see. Initially, it was called non-conventional. It is not a conventional. Still, I used to say non-conventional. Actually, now it is renewable. This is the change in mindset. Now, that is the theme of your seminar. Therefore, new technologies, hydrogen and solar. We need to start working on it. Thank you.